We all good? Perfect. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for being here. My name is Mark Densler. I'm Vice President and Chief Operating Officer with the Illinois Manufacturers Association. Founded in 1893, the IMA is the oldest and one of the largest state manufacturing trade associations in the United States. We're here today and very happy to announce the formation of an exciting new organization in Illinois in the land of Lincoln called Hunting Works for Illinois. Our goal with Hunting Works for Illinois is very simple. We want to spread a message of the impact, the economic impact that hunters have on our state and local economies. So many people know the stories of hunters as conservationists and the good that they do for the great outdoors in Illinois. Most people, however, don't know the financial impact that hunters do for Illinois' economy. Spending money on equipment, travel, dining, lodging, so many other things, the $100 translate into economic activity that impact thousands of jobs in the state of Illinois. I'm here because the manufacturing sector plays a key role in hunting and outdoor activities. Our members make items like firearms, bows and arrows, ammunition, flashlights, clothing, fishing poles, fishing lures, and the list goes on and on. Manufacturers are also conservationists. Many own or manage land that's used for hunting or set aside for conservation. We'll be sharing some of these stories in a few minutes, but first I'd like to introduce our speakers. We have Peter Scozzi, State Governmental Affairs for BNSF Railway, Bill Fleischle, Executive Vice President of the Illinois Petroleum Marketers Association to my right, and to my far right, Brittney Henry, the Executive Director of the Jacksonville Area Conventioners and Visitors Bureau. With that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Peter for some comments.
Thank you, Mark. I'm Peter Scozzi, Executive Director, State Government Affairs for BNSF Railway. When I was asked to be a part of Hunting Works for Illinois, there were three reasons I said yes. One, BNSF is proud to move merchandise on behalf of retail stores like Cabela's and Bass Pro. Two, I get to work alongside great partners like you see with me here today. And three, I love to hunt. Think about the name for a second, Hunting Works for Illinois. That name works on so many levels. First, think about Illinois' hunting heritage. My father was raised here in southern Illinois. He hunted with his father, and today he and I hunt shoulder to shoulder together, continuing that tradition. Hunting has certainly worked to put healthy, organic food on our tables for centuries. Personally, I greatly enjoy serving some of the meat that I've harvested to my family and friends back up in Chicago. Hunting also works by supporting jobs and opportunities for Illinois. Consider this, 512,000 people hunt in Illinois every year. Those 500,000 people spend money on equipment, lodging, dining, transportation. That money flows through the entire Illinois economy, supporting jobs and economic prosperity along the way. In fact, hunting spending in Illinois supports over 18,000 jobs and translates into $700 million in salaries and wages. Those jobs just aren't at locations like Cabela's and Bass Pro. You find hunter-supported jobs all over the place. Restaurants, gas stations, convenience stores, hotels, resorts, you name it. Really anywhere money can be spent, hunters are spending money. BNSF Railway is proud to be and excited to be a part of Hunting Works for Illinois, and we're excited to tell the story about how hunting works for our economy. Thank you, Mark.
Now turn it over to Bill Fleischle, the Petroleum Marketers.
Thank you very much. Good morning, and thank you for being here. I'm Bill Fleischle. I'm the Executive Vice President of the Illinois Petroleum Marketers Association and the Illinois Association of Convenience Stores. I can attest to some of the numbers that Peter just spoke about. I know I do my fair share of spending, and my small business petroleum marketers who have a say in almost every city in the state of Illinois realize the economic benefit when the hunters move in the fall of the year and through the spring of the year. On average, each hunter in Illinois spends nearly $2,400 a year. I guess that sums it up, folks, how they spend a bit more. Some of us folks up here spend a bit more. Putting things together, Illinois hunters spend $278 million in trip-related expenditures. Hunters can also spend $235 million in hunting equipment. That's a big deal. It's a big deal for our association. It's a big deal for my members. Being involved in the sport of hunting with my father for many years, since when I was about 10 years old. He made me appreciate the outdoors, and being involved in hunting with my four boys has made me realize how much money hunters spend. Our hunting expedition usually never starts with getting out of the car and going hunting. It starts by breakfast, It starts by hunting, it starts by buying. Of course, they never bring their shells. We have to go buy shells. So it can be a little bit expensive, but I'll tell you, it's been fun and well worth it. And we do it for the fun and the stories we can tell. I want to thank Hunting Works for Illinois for reminding us of the great economic benefits hunting in Illinois has for my membership and also for the rest of Illinois citizens. Thank you.
You've heard some great stories. Now we're going to hear from a local, Brittney Henry in Jacksonville Jacksonville Visitors and Convention Bureau, about the impact on a small town.
Thank you, Mark, and I would like to thank all of our speakers today. Thank you for sharing your stories and helping to tell the story of the economic impact of hunting in the state. It's something that really is huge. I would like to take a moment and share about what hunting and the shooting sports mean for a town like Jacksonville, Illinois. As Executive Director of the Jacksonville Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, I work with local hotels and restaurants every day to draw an economic boost to our area. We're a very diverse community when it comes to our region, and one economic boost that's been successful for our hotels has been hunting. In fact, we have a general manager who specifically markets their property to hunters through packages that include price discounts and swag items. And Jacksonville is just one place, which is why Hunting Works for Illinois has also partnered with half a dozen convention and visitors bureaus to draw sportsmen and women to our communities. I know we've touched a lot on how hunters support the overall economy. I'm glad that Hunting Works for Illinois is doing just this. It's a story that isn't told enough. Another thing to consider, how much hunters do for the great outdoors. Of course, we all think of hunters as being in a natural state while in the woods, but the woods are preserved because of hunters. Game and non-game species flourish because of hunters. Hunters routinely give up their time, talents, and treasures in support of the great outdoors. Did you know that hunters pay special taxes on their equipment? Hunters fund public conservation efforts through a special tax called Pittman-Robertson. Pittman-Robertson dollars are then distributed to the states for conservation efforts. And not only are hunters paying federal taxes, we pay state and local taxes as well. And here's the kicker. In fact, hunting generates $158 million in state and local taxes. And hunters are glad to pay these taxes that benefit the outdoors to everyone. Thank you.
So it's amazing when you hear these numbers. It's things that we don't hear about all the time. You hear Peter talk about 512,000 hunters in Illinois, or Bill talked about, the average hunter spends about $2,400. You heard Brittney with her numbers. They're amazing numbers. They're a story that doesn't get told, which is the reason we've created Hunting Works in Illinois. We're the 16th state to do this. It's, I think, started about 6 years ago. The real number that gets people and gets the overall attention is the overall impact of $2.2 billion on Illinois' economy. That's the overall impact of hunting in the state of Illinois. Over the coming months and years, this organization, Hunting Works for Illinois, we're going to do our part to spread that message. That is our goal, to talk about the economic impact of hunting in Illinois. You can go to huntingworksforillinois.com for more information. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. So with that, we're happy to answer any questions you have, but really want to tell the economic story and impact of hunting in Illinois. And